Welcome back to Cinema Corner. I'm Blake, and I'm here with my co-hosts, Alex and Josh.
Welcome to Volume 8 of Cinema Assignments. Of course, I guess we'll just go around the group here, letting the people know which movie we had to watch. I was assigned American History X by Blake.
I got The Outsider by Alex.
That's right. I forgot about
And
that.
I got Blade Runner 2049 from Josh.
Interesting string of movies there.
Hey, you know,
For sure.
gotta have a lot of diversity in there.
That is a big diversity.
Speaking of diversity, I guess
Sure,
I can go first because mine I feel is pretty, self-explanatory. So American History X came out in '98, I believe. It's a story about mainly two brothers. One brother being the main guy that essentially created the skinheads. So they're all about white power. So definitely diverse there. So and basically he was in a bad spot after his father was killed, and then he created this organization with the help of this other guy who is just running things behind the scenes. And one night he kills two black guys brutally, might I add. I was not expecting that. And then he goes to jail. And then essentially the story picks up from the brother's perspective, where he is, he idolizes his brother. So obviously he's adopting a lot of his beliefs and a lot of what he did. And now he's doing it too. And essentially the whole story is basically a reflection of, looking up to certain people can be either really good or really bad. In this case, really, really bad. Because his brother essentially got it from his dad who passed away, obviously. And that just kept getting passed down and passed down and passed down. Point being, a lot of bad stuff happens to both of them. Mainly the big brother, Derek, played by Ed Norton. He gets raped in jail by white guys. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of like the tipping point for him, because it's like his own people did this to him, and he ended up having like a black friend in jail, and that kind of like changed his views. And obviously with the help of this professor that works at the high school, getting him out sooner, and then obviously teaching him the right way, and he learns from his mistakes. He tries to help his brother, but the day prior to him getting out, or I guess the day he gets out, but he doesn't see him yet, his brother makes the mistake of like standing up to a group of black kids. That comes back to bite him in the ass. But point is that afternoon he teaches him the right way, so they take down all of their propaganda. He learns from his big brother. He finishes an assignment called American History X that the professor assigned to him, and before he even gets the chance to turn it in, he gets confronted by that same kid, and he shoots him in the bathroom. So he never gets to turn in his assignment. But his brother, who dropped him off, hears the gunshot, runs back in, and he blames himself, because obviously the reason why he was even in that position was because of him. So, it ends, and it was a pretty sad story. But Blake, you gave me a good movie, which I appreciate. Thank
That's
you.
what I do. I know
Yeah.
bangers.
Yeah, it's a little weird in spots here and there, but I mean, overall,
Yeah, what did you
Pretty good job.
what did you think of the brother, how he killed the two gentlemen to have to go to jail?
It's a bit excessive, The
Yeah, it
curb
was.
stomp,
Yeah, it was.
curb stomp was I
Yeah.
was I was a lot, I was a lot. They did not hold back on that. But I mean, again, well acted, well directed. I like how when it's like a flashback point, everything is kind of in this black and white, so you can tell that obviously this was happening as a flashback. But yeah,
Did it
I mean,
before Christopher Nolan did it in Oppenheimer.
Facts.
yeah.
Alex
Yep,
wouldn't get that reference.
98. Never saw Oppenheimer.
Oh, that could change quickly.
So, I guess for a score, I'm gonna give this a 8.7 out of 10.
Damn. Okay, you did really like it.
Yeah, it
Bang
was good.
only.
It was good. It was a pretty good film.
Yeah, I guess I can go next. I had Blade Runner 2049, which I knew was coming because we have been on quite the
Journey.
Denis Villeneuve wave right now. Currently, you could say. So I knew this one was coming for sure. But still, I mean, obviously, it was extremely well shot. There's scenes in this that just look beautiful, from the framing to the lighting of it. It obviously just looks phenomenal. Sci-fi movie, obviously, because it's him, and I feel like he does a lot of those. Which, I mean, it was interesting. It was a relatively, obviously, this was a sequel from like the one in 80s, was it even? I don't even know when it was.
Around then, yeah.
Obviously never saw it, didn't need to see it. Harrison Ford does show up, who was in the original one, but you didn't need to see it to understand. At least I feel like I still got everything, and I didn't see the original. So I feel like you're fine. Yeah, it was definitely interesting. I liked how the world was, relatively, and I was a little upset though, because they went to a like shithole area and they decided to have it as San Diego. Really hoping it was San Francisco, so that was a bit of a letdown to me. That was a city that they should have just shit on. It literally was just the dump. They just took all the dump from Los Angeles and dumped it in San Diego. Should have been San Francisco. It's already halfway there. But yeah, I mean, obviously this movie, Ryan Gosling is the lead in it. I enjoyed this a lot. I mean, like, as I kind of figured I would. It definitely is a little bit slower in terms of, like, there's not like a super crazy amount of action, but when there is action, it is, I feel like, very well done. A little bit repetitive of him getting stabbed by the one lady. I feel like he got stabbed quite a few times and was just like chill every single time, which like obviously makes sense because he's not human, but like he was getting stabbed, I feel like, quite a lot, and then he'd just be like, laying on the ground, and then just like open his eyes and be like, all right, I'm good. So I thought that was a little interesting that I saw him get stabbed. I feel like one too many times of nothing happening after the stabbing. But overall, I mean, it definitely was interesting. It had a kind of interesting twist where it definitely was leading you on to expect that he was the one that they were after, the child that they were after. So I thought it was a nice twist that they were like, oh, you thought you were? Yeah, no, we all thought we were. Like, nah, psych, buddy. And so I thought that was a good twist. There was definitely some moments of it, though, that we have sent the memes of, which, when those happen, just kind of you had to laugh about, just thinking about the memes that we sent over the time. So, there's a couple of those moments. But overall, it was interesting. The linking type part of when Anna Day Armas's character, and I don't know what that actress is from. I saw her, and she was the friend in No Strings. No. What was that Zac Efron one? No strings attached. That awkward moment.
That awkward moment.
She's the girlfriend in that. Yeah, she's the friend in that. But when they did like the linking scene of like, Ana de Armas like called her, Joy was her name, I guess, in the movie, like called her to like hook up. That whole linking scene was just super like the camera of like it was one of them, and I was getting really like, what am I looking at right now? Because like their faces were being meshed and stuff like that scene was just throwing me off, just the look of it. I was just like, who am I looking at right now? This doesn't look like either of the two actresses that I know. Yeah, overall, I mean, I enjoyed this movie. I definitely thought, like I said, a little bit slow, but not like terribly slow that it was boring and interesting. So I gave this an 8.2 out of 10. Definitely one that, I kind of figured I would like whenever I eventually got around to it, and I did.
Take it. Look at that. Guys, we're on a trend here. And one thing I do got to ask, you didn't mention the one common person that me and your movie have, Jared Leto. Yeah. How did you feel about Jared Leto in your movie?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you that I think you said a while ago, you're like, oh, he was actually pretty good in that movie solely because he was just a weird freak, and, it kind of just made sense because he really wasn't acting. So, yeah, no, I agree with you there that every time he was on screen, honestly, anytime I see him, like I kind of just get taken out of it because it's like no matter what he's doing, I'm like that's Jared Leto, and I just don't like him.
Yeah.
But
That's
I mean,
fair.
his character was interesting-ish. It was Jared Leto, so it was tough to care about the character or pay attention to the character.
It is. It is. I think it helped that it definitely. I don't know if he had as many bearded movies around that time where his beard was really crazy, so that helped me a little bit when it came to watching that. But yeah. Anyways, let's jump into mine. I got The Outsider, a movie that was assigned to me to be a punishment, as well as has a 17% critic score. I'm gonna just describe this movie.
Hold on. Before you do, tell me why exactly is it that this was assigned to you as a punishment? Why?
Because Josh. Alex doesn't appreciate the art that I assigned.
No.
I assigned him. You gave me history,
crap,
the lore of the world, and
you've given me one good movie. Smile. That was the one decent movie that you gave me.
Yeah, Josh.
Well,
now proceed.
I would say be careful how you're speaking to me today, boy. Anyways,
hey, I heard way too many of those in the movie. Okay.
Yeah, you did.
I'm done with those for a minute.
Okay, so The Outsider. It starts with it's a movie in Japan, which I was not really expecting at all. And it's called the Outsider because he is a white man. That's pretty much it. It starts off in a Japanese prison. It's really funny because everyone else has a buzz cut and is clean shaved, and then there's Jared Leto with his long hair that he obviously loves and would refuse to shave for this movie. So that was quite funny, and then him having just a bit of a raggedy beard. That was it. I thought that was really hilarious. That it was clear that he was like, nah, I know I'm taking the money here, but I'm not going to cut my hair. Anyways, so basically it starts off with him getting paired up with the man, and then the man asks him to stab him so that his brothers, he can escape in the hospital, and then his gang brothers can save him from the hospital, and that he will owe him. So right off the bat, it's kind of showing you that this movie will be graphic, which is another thing not expecting, because I didn't know what to expect at all out of this film. But him just getting stabbed off the bat was just already too much to see a little bit. And I was like, okay, cool. Anyway, so they escape, blah, blah, blah. They link up. They become homeboys. And then he basically realizes that he's in a gang. Jared Leto's like, yeah, I do gangs. And joins them. And right off the bat, to kind of test Jared Leto, they have him go on a mission to get information and basically tell this guy to chill the fuck out. Jared Leto, instead of telling this guy to chill the fuck out, just kills a guy. Just absolutely brutally murders him with a radio and just smashes his skull in. So that was intense. Did not expect that. Comes out and just tells him, yeah, I talked to him. He's alive, though. And obviously it was meant to be like a cool moment, but it's Jared Leto, so it came off like just a nerdy weirdo saying, he's alive. I did it. And then they just left. Didn't even check to see if they got the job done. He just took his word for it, a random white boy. The movie's based in 1954 Japan, so at least that part is kind of cool because I really like post-World War II Japan because there's still American troops there, blah, blah, blah. All that shit's going on, and they're like rebuilding and Japanese gangs. It's basically supposed to be a movie about how Japan kind of saw a similar growth of how gangs were growing up in America around the same kind of type of growth that Japan's having. It's also in 1954 in a city called Osaka, which is a weird date and city to pick because apparently when I looked it up just to see if there's any significance to it, there's a like major movie, a really old Japanese movie that is Osaka 1954. I was like, oh, is this like a remake of like a classic? No, the classic's some like wholesome film that is about a guy going to an inn, but the movie references it because the first thing Leto does when he gets after he like acquaintance with this new gang is he goes to an inn in Osaka in 1954. So that was just a weird connection, and that was all it was. Nothing else. Just the title, and then he goes to an inn. But really, the majority of this film was Leto just doing whatever the fuck he wanted to a bunch of just Asian guys. he would just look at somebody, punch them, and then that was it. No reaction. The gangs didn't retaliate to him. He didn't get in trouble. He did whatever the fuck he wanted to. His homeboy that saved him from prison has a sister. He fucks homeboy's sister. And he gets homeboy's sister pregnant too. Even though the guy was like, yo, you got one rule, don't fuck my sister. He does it anyways, because Leto does what he wants. And then, also another thing, 80% of this movie is in Japanese. Another thing you would not expect, that the only English really spoken is from Leto.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Bars.
If you take Leto out of this, it's a good movie. It's about a Japanese gangster.
Hey, wow,
It's you take him out. You ignore him. All the actors were great. It was basically they're having their Godfather moment. There's a fucking old Asian man versus like the rich boy that's coming in, and those gangs are conflicting. It's fire. Then you get a random scene where Jared Leto has to chop his pinky off, and you're like, why are we doing this? There's a big, just long cut scene of people getting their pinkies chopped off. And that wasn't enjoyable. There also was a shit ton of nudity in this film, too. There was easily just a 10-minute long pan shot of a stripper just dancing on the pole. Yeah, there's Leto's face, behind him, just strippers just dancing, clear shot, and it's like, what's going on right now? There's just too much going on. It's Netflix just basically saying, we got a rated R film. And that's how it goes. Otherwise, the rest of the film is basically just old mobsters are going. There's a betrayal that happens. It was decent. It was decent. It was surprising to me after finishing this film that this is a 17% Rotten Tomato score. I know you sent me this as a punishment, but I genuinely came out of this being like, this was okay enough to watch, which is so surprising compared to other Leto films I have suffered to have to see. So it failed as a punishment, but also failed as a good movie. Would not recommend it. Easily, it is a 4 out of 10 movie is what I would give it. But critics giving it a 17 is just probably people being mad at Netflix because it wasn't that bad. Yeah, that's the movie. Outsider.
Definitely did not know a single thing about it when I sent it to you. I just saw the score. I'm like, and it said Jared Leto. Like, okay, bet. I didn't even know where it was set in. Yeah, half of it was in Japanese. Nothing. I knew nothing.
And they stuck to that too. That's what I thought was kind of wild. That 90% of the movie is basically in subtitles. So, which I'm fine with, but I also had no idea what I was gonna expect.
Well, isn't Godzilla -1 in Japanese?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I haven't seen it yet. So, but cool.
Banger of a movie.
I'll see it when it comes out.
Release it to streaming already, you cowards.
Well,
okay.
Since I was the last one to give my review, Alex, I'll sign your movie here.
Okay.
Just want you to know, I have an order here. I have one that basically just saying if you've seen these movies, it just keeps getting worse and worse. So I just want to warn you that.
Well, you can't warn him. He might lie about stuff.
No, you got to be honest. Come on, honesty.
I'm gonna be honest. If I've seen it, I'll tell him. If I haven't,
now,
I don't.
You know, I'm a good guy, so I'm actually being nice to you this time. I am assigning you a movie that I actually really liked. And the reason why I asked you even ahead of time if you're okay, to kind of gauge if you're okay with subtitles, is the movie I want to assign you is Parasite. Have you seen that?
No.
That is your movie. And it's also on Max because some people here complain about that shit.
No, because whoever gives me a movie, it's going to be one I have to rent. And always give people always give streaming to other people. And that comes to me. It's a bullshit. I got to rent it. I got to go through like 2 extra seconds. And it's annoying.
I actually had to rent American History X.
Good. I have to spend 2 extra seconds on my phone renting it and then sending it to my TV instead of just signing it on my TV. It's an inconvenient time.
So you're welcome, Alex. A movie
Thanks.
I actually liked.
Okay. But okay, so I tried to do research this time to give Blake a good movie this time. So I'm between two. Have you seen Gangs of New York?
I literally watched it 2 to 3 weeks ago.
Was it good? Was it a good movie?
It was okay.
It's okay.
It definitely wasn't anything phenomenal.
Okay. Have you seen Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind?
No, that is one that I keep saying I'm going to watch, and I never do.
I think I'm the only one that has seen it.
It's also not on
There
a
you go.
streaming service.
It's not. It is.
Yeah, no, it's not.
It
Because I
never
watch
has.
it. Because I love Jim Carrey.
Oh, sorry, but I'm trying to give you.
No, it's
a good
valid.
one.
That's valid. I've been saying I'm going to watch that movie forever, so now I actually need to. So it's valid.
Okay.
Which, Josh, I have a movie that I know you have said you want to watch for a long time, and you just never do.
Okay.
And I thought about making you so you could finally do it, but I don't want to anymore. You know,
Okay.
I decided to go a different route.
Okay.
You gave Alex a Academy Award-winning Best Picture movie,
Oh yeah.
so I'm gonna give you an Academy Award-winning Best Picture movie from either 1 to 2 years before Parasite, I believe. The Green Book.
The Green. I think I've already seen that.
It's with Viggo Mortensen and Mahershala Ali.
I have seen that.
You suck.
It's a good movie. I thought about signing you guys that.
Nah, it's a good movie. It's a good movie. See, now I'm in a tough place. Do I do the one that I know you want to watch, or do I do the other one? You know what I mean?
Hey,
Tough
Follow your heart.
place to be. It's a tough place to be. I'm going to say the one that I think I haven't seen the other one, so we'll save that for the future. American Fiction
American
with
Fiction.
Jeffrey Wright. Watch that.
Okay. I've not seen that. I don't know anything about it either.
Yeah, it's Jeffrey Wright. Came out last year. Nominated for awards. That's all you need to know. Not on a streaming service. That's going to do it for this
God.
video, I think. As always, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys in the next one.